Bam, bam, bam.
Tom.
Welcome.
How you doing?
I'm good. Good, baby.
Me too. I'm just trying to get logged in on this other machine because I was a dum-dum and did it wrong. Whoa.
Just this one from Chrome. Who says, loudest man in the world, Ben.
That's me.
And just a loud man, Tom. Regarding Vampire, what weakness / powers and rules do you enjoy and which do you dislike?
Oh yeah, because there's a million different versions of vampires, right?
Yeah.
All with their own lore.
I like it when they have the sparkly skin.
Yes, and they can just really never eat human blood.
Yeah.
They feel like it.
Just chill. That's that one.
No, I like...
The pick up rice rule. Oh, but that's the counting rule. If you throw a thing in front of them, they have to count it.
Well, so they're just autistic.
Yeah, there's a thing. Well, I guess that's a heavy-handed way.
Sorry, they're like
that's,
Hollywood autistic.
Yeah,
but not actual.
But that's like, you have matchsticks that you throw on the ground, and they have to, and it stops them apparently.
Wow. Is it because the matchsticks all land in like dozens of tiny wooden crosses?
Oh, maybe.
And they have to like uncross them all.
I hate that.
One at a time.
I do like the having to be invited across the threshold. I think that's like a fun.
Yeah. I'd like to see like an interesting twist on it though. Like rather than like in Buffy where it's like a fucking invisible force field, which feels super weird. Like they could, but for some reason like a lot of their powers don't work, or they get like some kind of heavy debuff, or something that's feels less awkward
than just magic wall.
There's
also then what counts as a threshold, because there's like at what point
counts as a home.
Yeah, because if you think of like like a shanty town or like a a
tent.
Like a tent.
Or
someone might live in
car.
a tent. Someone lives in their car. Is that their home?
If a vampire was attacking, can I just like suddenly
be like, I live here now.
I live here now. This is my house.
And the vampire's like, boo! Can I come in? And you're like, no, fuck off. And he's like, boo, defeated again.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, most of the rules kind of break down when you like over scrutinize them.
Yeah.
Like the running water one's mad because like traditionally it's we got to cross the river and then the vampire can't chase us.
Yeah.
But then what happens if he goes to a city that's full of like sewer systems? Like
nightmare.
How does that work?
They have a really hard time.
They've got to take this weird zigzag route around town.
Super awkward navigation puzzle. Yeah.
And like, how can they? Can they sense it? Like, if they can't see that there's running water, does it count? Is it all psychosomatic?
Maybe.
I like the idea that most vampire weaknesses are psychosomatic.
Okay.
They've been taught by their like vampire sire that, and then when they tried going in the sun and it burned them, they were like, oh, I guess all the other ones are true too.
Yeah, I guess like a couple of them have to be true, and they've been warned of some of these other things, and they're like,
I'm not going to risk it. And so when you get garlic or a cross out, they're like, oh, shit, I don't know what that's going to do.
Although I feel like if you're a vampire, you're going to have questionable morals on your, just going about your day-to-day life. So I'd be pretty chill with, whatever. You do like a sort of school reunion type thing. You just find some people that you kind of know that you're like, yeah, they're kind of jerks.
Okay, press this cross against me.
I'm going to bite each of them, turn them into like vampires, but then use each one for a little experiment.
Oh, I thought you were going to do the whole like, try it out on me, but no, you're literally going to ruin someone's life as an experiment.
Yeah, like just shove them across running water and like they didn't die. Great. Now the next thing.
I like it in vampire films where how the vampire gets older, they get stronger and more powerful.
Sure, yeah.
But I also like the idea that the weaknesses become more pronounced the older they get. So a very, very young vampire isn't really affected by crosses and can go in daylight and is uncomfortable but doesn't burn. But then like a 1,000-year-old vampire turns to fucking dust immediately when he goes outside.
Oh, yeah, that's way more fun. Yeah, I like that.
The holy water burns them way more and all this kind of stuff. So
yeah.
In your theory, you'd have to like wait 100 years.
Yeah, yeah. You'd have to
see
be a
if
bit more
anything
careful.
affected them.
Well, yeah, you've got a big castle. Just put each one in. You just have your oubliette style setup. Mm-hmm. Every like week, just throw like a peasant down there. Not even every week, every year.
Yeah.
They need enough blood just to keep them going.
Yeah.
And then after a few hundred years, then you start the experimentation.
Oh my god! You'd start doing your immortal vampire scientist routine.
Yeah.
And you're like, yes. And you've got your little Igor there. I don't know why vampires have to have incompetent assistants, but they do.
I guess they're just a bit insecure. they need a little friend.
I guess they don't want anyone too clever, because they're asleep half the time, and they're very vulnerable. If they had someone ambitious and smart running their house, they could easily get themselves into trouble.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you need someone who's like enough of an idiot that you promise oh yeah, I'll make you immortal one day. Like, yes, master. Yeah, you need them.
Yeah, and they're scared of you enough to never try anything.
Yeah, for sure. I think that would work. But I guess what you could do, a bit like let's say you've got your black coach type thing that you ride around in. And if you're worried about underground water type stuff,
right?
You could get a vampire thrall. Mm-hmm. And have a Mad Max Fury Road style setup of on the very front of it you have them chained up with but it goes to a safety system that if a counterbalance that if their weight is ever gone because they've just instantly turned to ash,
You just take a hard left turn.
It automatically activates brakes and you slam to a halt just to stop you accidentally going over water.
So elaborate. They feel like the water thing you're immune to if you're buried in the earth of your homeland.
Okay.
That's how Dracula gets around. His coffin's packed with cursed earth.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you don't want to, ruin your suit, then you have the guy on the front.
Yeah. He's just having the worst time. Yeah. Just a real bad day.
Yeah, vampire canaries.
Yeah, that's what I'd be doing.
Perfect.
So those weaknesses.
Exploitable weaknesses.
Exploitable weaknesses. I'd always really like the sort of Strigoi style, any vampires that drink too much blood do turn into a fucking monster.
Oh yeah, they become bestial. The more they give into their bestial nature, the more beastie they become.
And so that's why vampires or in Warhammer, why a lot of vampires were I don't want to make too many thralls because often 90% of the time when we do it, they just love drinking blood, and they are a massive problem. And we're going to have to fucking kill that thing at some point, and they're actually going to get really strong. And so we don't really want to make too many, and you have to keep slapping the cup out of someone's hand and trying to do interventions
But then they are quite useful,
the blood.
Sending your vampire agents off to do shit for you.
Yeah, you do want them because also they instantly have all the same enemies that you do.
Yeah, they're kind of tied to you.
But yeah,
it's a balancing act.
Yeah, goofy hindrances on them definitely makes vampires more interesting. Without that,
if you could make your own vampire, when you make a thrall, if you could design his character sheet somehow through some kind of arcane ritual, where you're if I do this and this and this, he'll gain these certain abilities, but also these certain weaknesses.
Okay.
And then you could
are you saying if I had some kind of Liber Mortis book, which is very similar to the GURPS character creation book, where I have a set amount of points.
Yep.
There are disadvantages and advantages.
You have so many dark souls.
Yeah. Okay. And
You build your thrall.
Okay.
And then that way you can put in the weaknesses that make them more reliant on you.
Oh yeah.
And less likely to betray you. Maybe they have to have some of your blood every week, or they lose some of their abilities.
Oh god, but that sounds annoying. I think just instantly, like, if I die, you die too. Bam.
Bam. That's a good one.
Just, like, do that.
The old head vampire routine.
Yeah.
Where everyone who's descended from them also dies.
Also, what I'd do is I would hire, like, a really good PR person who would spread the myth about like, oh, each of my thralls is actually like a Horcrux.
Nice.
So then
they would kill off all the thralls before coming to you, and you'd get loads of warning.
I'd have a lot of warning. Also, like I could just keep telling my thralls, like if you die, then I'm more likely to die. So I'm definitely going to try and keep you alive, buddy. Definitely
make them feel more important.
But actually, no, they are just early warning systems.
It's just an elaborate pyramid canary scheme.
Yeah. That's it. Because I want to protect myself. Because I can make more vampires later. It'll be a pain, but because I'm going to have some pretty silly weaknesses myself by whichever dungus created me as a vampire, which clearly they did as a joke.
They just fucked off.
Yeah, and then left. So if I'm now, in my Carpathian castle somewhere. Trying to build my vampire empire. I want some warning signs.
You could definitely build it I'm assuming you're now a random time traveling vampire, that you, Tom, from the future have gone back to, Transylvanian times.
Uh-huh.
And you could use your knowledge of like pyramids and Ponzi schemes to create like a really elaborate vampire society where you take 5% of the earnings of every vampire who creates another vampire who creates another vampire.
Yeah. You just use the pyramid scheme process.
And you just sit at the top, taking all the money and bloods.
Yeah, let's do that. I guess, or you could just make it like a mafioso-style crime syndicate.
Yeah. Just don't get done on tax. That's their only weakness, right?
Yeah, but they get me in on tax. I just turn into a bat. Whoa! I'll get you next time as I fly through the bars, and they're like, "Wow, shit! He got away." I think I'll be fine. I think it'll be okay.
It all makes sense.
So Pious Skeleton. Do these 3 bucks? Pious Skeleton. They say garlic is a blood thinner. So it makes more sense that it is a false means of warning that vampires made up to make it easier to drink. This is a theory I love.
Oh.
That vampires spread this rumor that everyone eat loads of garlic.
Because they just fucking love garlic.
Because it wards off vampires, but actually, it is a natural blood thinner, so it makes it easier to drink your blood. So you turn up, and they're like, "Oh, luckily I've eaten all my garlic," and then actually you can just drink that all in one go.
Smart, very smart. Like the theory that the Dracula book was written by a vampire and just filled with fake information.
Oh, that's good.